happened today?
Good evening to the members of the media. I think we started off brightly. We looked like, scoring at any given time just before the penalty. And we forced them to make that mistake because of the pressure that we applied on them, and got a penalty. We scored from the penalty. Then from there again, I think we allowed them to gain a little bit of momentum, but we could still score from any angle. Whenever we were going forward, it didn't pose any danger as well that time. But just maybe last 5 minutes of the first half, then we started allowing them time and space on the ball, and started playing. And even half time, I said to them, if you're gonna give them, that space, and they'll start, believing that they can hurt us, And against the run of play, I think we were still okay. Just before we conceded the goal, and then we made that mistake, and a mistake that could have been costly as well, and we got the second goal that we scored, and I still believe that we could have done better in terms of not even conceding a goal today. Could have easily kept a clean sheet. We gave them the goal, and to be quite honest, they only look dangerous from the throw-ins more than the corners and open play. So yeah, we nearly again, make it difficult actually for us. And for me, if we applied ourselves correctly, we could easily score 3-4 today. And yeah, we had about 2 1-on-1s. I did not score. And yeah, it's one of those things, but just hoping that we're not going to continue making silly mistakes like the one we made that led to the goal that we conceded.
Members of the media, the winning coach, Zwane, restricted to this match for today, because I'm sure tomorrow night we can add other questions that are related to this match. Let us go for it. You've got 10 minutes.
Good evening, Coach. Stephen Deville from the Zwane. Coach, we saw you taking off Zija at that mistake. Was it a tactical change, or you took him off because of that mistake?
No, it was a tactical change. We still had Soli, and apart from that, he looked a little bit uncomfortable. He was limping a little bit, so we thought maybe he'll be fine. But obviously, if he wasn't okay, and after that mistake, I don't think he was gonna, be able to cope in terms of if it was an injury. So we had to make sure that we come up with a plan, and we had to make that tactical change.
Thank you.
Coach Lorenzo from the Casric Times. Obviously, when you started your 10 years head coach here, you were very vocal about wanting to play a very attractive brand of football in the Chiefs way. Are you happy with what you saw here today? And is it a matter of instructions, that they're not taking instructions? Because I can't imagine in that first half that you wanted them to play that loosely and so bad, like out of position. Thank you.
Yeah, if you watch today's game, it is always, difficult to play against, teams that are coming from first division, because they play with energy more than the structure. And yes, I think we know that we could have done better today. And we always want to, play to our utmost best, and have an sort of like an identity, in how we want to play. And this is one game to forget. according to our standard. I think we went down to their level. Take nothing away from them. They are a good team. They've got their strengths and weaknesses, but I think we could have done better. We know that, But days like this, in football, you always, find players in that situation for some, reasons, But yeah, as coaches, we don't give up on working with players. We don't give up on trying to get the best out of the players and the club going forward. So that is very, very key, And this is one game, like I said, just to forget. But what was important for us was to go through to the next round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coach, another moment. How important is for him to improve his numbers, because most of the time attackers are judged by the numbers, assists and goals, and he had some moments today, including that one-on-one. And how do you go back in terms of trying to rectify the mistake? Do you want anything, and what do you think will be key going forward in making him to improve on the numbers?
I think not only to, when you look at the decision making in the final third entry, there was a time we had about 4v2, and we ended up allowing them to recover, and close us down. And we looked like scoring from that moment, So I think it's one of those things that we need to improve our decision making. From the middle, not only in the final third, from the middle, in terms of how do we use, the half spaces, how do we get, the ball behind the opposition defenders. And there was a time we did it right, and whenever we did that right, we looked dangerous. And we had those moments today where that led a keeper, I think, made a save, if I'm not mistaken. There was another one from Dupree's, from the other side. So we had, I think, two like those, and one from Soli. And I think the defenders, they defended very well in terms of recovering. But I still say we need to improve our decision making in the final third. Once we can get that one right, I think we will score a lot of goals, because we do create goal scoring opportunities.
Coach, I can tell you the coach's news. From the coach's perspective and from the award seat, I know even on the Chiefs website you mentioned that it's so difficult to play teams from lower leagues. Can you please tell us why is it so difficult for coaches to play those teams from the lower leagues? And secondly, I know in football we can't make prognostic predictions, especially before the draw, but who would you like to meet into the quarterfinal? And lastly, one day was selected to Bafana team. So are we able with that? Thank you.
Okay. Can you remind me the first one, Ravi?
We will start with the difficulty of beating lower division teams,
Okay.
but we'll leave the Bafana question for today. We've answered it extensively during the week.
Okay. We start with which one?
Why is it difficult to beat teams?
Firstly, thanks for the question, Mhlonishwa. As I said, earlier on, that teams from lower league, you must have seen they've caused some upset, other good teams in the PSL. And that tells you it's difficult to plan for them. Why? You don't know how they're going to approach the game. So unlike when you play against a team that is in PSL, their way of attacking and defending, what is it that they do best. And even the players, actually, you profile each and every player. When they have this one, they are likely to do X, Y, Z. But it's not easy when you play against teams from First Division or teams from your APC, Municipal League. So it's always difficult because they play with energy. They work very hard. They work twice as hard, because some of them, they're also marketing themselves. They want to be in the PSL. They also want to, compete at that level. So they also believe that they're good enough to play at that level. So when given the opportunity, they always want to, showcase their talent. So that makes life difficult for the PSL teams, more especially if you're going to take them for granted. Then the second one, Ravi, was...
Any team that you...
with us, we can play with anyone. We can play with anyone. We don't choose who we want to play against. Whoever that we draw tomorrow, we're gonna have to obviously plan for them and take it from there.
We'll give you a benefit of doubt on a member of the media or Bafana player.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and we understand and we respect. In terms of the selection, at the end of the day, it's not about us, it's about the nation. At the end of the day, if other players are doing better, according to the coach, better than our players, then we support the national team. And our boys will work hard enough to be given, obviously, the opportunity at that level. And then we will always work with them to make sure that, next time when they select the national team, at least we have more numbers in the national team.
Got it. Last one.
No, it doesn't matter. This is football. I mean, it's good. It's good. Sundowns is doing very well. They're doing very well at that level. Champions League. Everyone wants to be there, like I said, and this is football. This is one game that's very, very unpredictable. Whether you're on the on the right track or you're doing very well at that moment, anything can happen in football. We watched Manchester last week. They hammered Liverpool, hammered Manchester 7. Then today, or was it yesterday? They lost to. You see, that's football for you. So we understand these things. So we can play against anyone.
Thank you.
No.
All the members of the media, we've got 5 in under 23, we've got 3 in under 16, we've got about 4 in under 17.
That's key,
Let us keep it there for today, Coach. Yeah. Last question there.
Coach, congratulations. Maybe this has been asked many times before, but the difference between the NFT teams and the Premier League teams.
Yeah.
How much of a difference, or maybe how much is the difference between the two, right? And then the importance of having a doctor in all structures of teams, whether it's a top senior team, all the way to development, and the importance of having a doctor in those structures. How important is that, especially with the loss of Stepe from HSBC?
Look, maybe with us we are a little bit spoiled. We always have a doctor for every session. At Kaizer Chiefs. Ever since I arrived at Kaizer Chiefs, when was it? 2001 or 2, and ever since there's always been a doctor. So obviously, in terms of operation, other teams and the resources, it's not the same. You understand what I'm saying? So I wouldn't like to talk for other teams because I don't know their challenges. But at Kaizer Chiefs, even when our reserve team is training, there's doctor, around, which is that tells you how important it is for us to have a doctor, present when we train. And the other one, the other question was?
It's about the difference.
The difference, obviously, is tactics, one. When you play against a team that's got nothing to lose, they came here, they had nothing to lose. The team that played against Pirates, Vendor, they had nothing to lose. And they wanted to showcase their talent. They wanted to be seen. They were expressing themselves, and you must have seen some good players from them. So it's always dangerous to play against such team. And you must have seen Paris, the two Paris to extra time, and even today with us nearly went that way. So as I said, the difference, it's difficult to plan for them. You don't know their players that much, even if you can profile them, even if some of the games you watch them. But when they play against big teams, the change in attitude, the energy levels, you know, they change it altogether, because the players, they believe that this is the perfect opportunity for us to be seen and also market ourselves, because they also want to, you know, play in the PSL.
Members of the media, I see there's a thorny question. We'll allow one only.
Coach, Coach, any likelihood of seeing Matoho this season?
I don't want to lie. He's been out for some time, and we don't know. We don't know in terms of the recovery. Yes, as things stand, he haven't started jogging, you know, yet, and that alone tells you that it's not gonna happen anytime soon, you know, in terms of him coming back into play. But should he recover, you know, sooner rather than later, we will be very happy to have him back, and because of his experience and also knowing very well what he can do for us.
3 wins on the trot, Coach. Congratulations. All the best. My respect. Saturday next week, 8 o'clock. Members of the media, good night. We'll see you in my respect next week.